I take this privilege to introduce today's speaker, Sri Arun Nars, who is talking on migration of butterflies.
ஆமா ஆமா
Arun Nars basically is an architectural photographer by profession. He is an alumni of Chitrakala Parishad, Bangalore, and he has pursued his career as an advertising photographer and working for various reputed advertising agencies. As the time passed by, he slowly shifted to the world of nature and he has made a name for himself through the study of raptor, mainly the white-rumped vultures, black eagle, with the help of the Karnataka Forest Department. He was much appreciated in the world of raptors for his study. He has spent about 15 years with a pair of black eagle and has been able to understand the sensitivities faced by the largest breeding bird of prey. He was one of the speakers in the World Raptor Conference, in which he gave a lecture on the behavior of the black eagle towards humans. His interest towards butterflies started from the JP Nagar forest of Bangalore, where he was inspired by Rohit Girotra and Ashok Sen Gupta. He pursued his interest after getting back to his hometown, that is Mysore, by taking up bi-monthly counts of butterflies in the Lalit Mahal Palace area. Till date, Arunaris has been able to identify and record nearly 170 to 175 species in this palace area, spanning approximately 2 square kilometers. Arun has been encouraging people from various professional fields to take up butterfly walks in Mysore. He has been making regular visits to Brahmagiris in Kodagu, trying to understand the behavior of the butterflies, and he has recorded some rare species there. On behalf of Mysore Science Foundation, I heartily welcome Sri Arunaras for this webinar. I request all the participants to mute their audio and even video to save the bandwidth. So thank you one and all. So now I request Arun to take for the session. Thank you.
First, I want to thank the Mysore Science Foundation for inviting me. And the great migration of butterflies in South India, peninsular India, we have been seeing it for a very long time, and we have tried to understand in between, and it's been very intriguing actually. And bits and pieces of information that we used to get we have we have been able to piece it together, and then uh, I'm able to bring it to you today. Even though like the study of the migration hasn't been over, it's an ongoing process which might take years on end actually. But in the process, like we have at least made some great observation, and a lot of details are coming out of late because of the study that we are into for the last 8 to 10 years. Now, like today, like I'll be talking about my journey into the world of butterflies, and a little introduction about myself. And from that, like I'll be going over to like migration from the Western Ghats, a species of migrating butterflies that migrate every year, every season. At the reasons for the migration path in depth, we can look at a few paths which I have observed over a period of 7 8 years now, and then role of Mysore in that path, and the impact of climatic changes, the data that I have recorded in Mysore regarding the congregation. So these are the important subjects that I'll be touching today. So like my journey started from way up in the canopies while studying the black eagle. And while sitting there in the canopy, one day, like I just happened to see a huge swarm of insects flying from one valley to the other. one side of the valley to the other. So like I was a bit intrigued with that. And I took my binoculars and asked my tribal also like what that was, a phenomenon. And he said like they are butterflies. I couldn't believe it. This happened about sometime in 2005 or 6. So like when I took the binoculars and had a look into it, like there were millions of them going from one valley to the other. So that triggered some slight interest in me. And then as I was introduced, like I ended up on a work assignment in Bangalore, and I happened to visit JP Nagar Forest, where I met the various experts from butterflies, like Rohit and Ashok Sen Gupta, Hanish, and Kalesh. He is one very important person in this study of migration. And we have got one more person from Coimbatore. He is called as Pavinder Napau. And all of us put together, like started piecing in uh, the the migration path and their behavior. So that's how like I got introduced into this the world of butterflies. And next we'll go to this is the black eagle that I was able to study, and it used to come and sit very close to me, and like it was like some close friend trying to like reach out to me or things like that way. It used to come at around like 15 feet away from me. We were getting in all the hunt that it had done that day and calling out gently. It was a very nice experience actually. So migration is fascinating as well as intriguing and mysterious subject. Till now, like nobody has been able to do a proper study of the migration. So like we are trying to understand it, and migration happens in different species like birds, mammals, and butterflies also. In birds, like as Kiran Bagde explained yesterday, they come down from the northern hemisphere because of the cold. The mammals in Kenya and Tanzania crossing the Mara River, that great migration of the wildebeest, like they're also like they are doing it for a purpose. And butterflies, I'll be talking about it today. So like let's look into the species of migrating butterflies. The species of migrating butterflies are Oriental blue tiger, Deccan dark blue tiger, Indian common crow, double-banded crow, Oriental lemon emigrant, Oriental mottled emigrant, and we have got one special lady here that is called as the painted lady, who goes all around the world, and she travels about 12,000 kilometers. Uh, 12,000 kilometers, like in the sense, like you might be wondering, I'll come to that subject as we look at the images, and I'll explain that aspect to you. So these are the Deccan dark blue tiger and the Oriental blue tiger. So like the for a common man, like it's very similar. There is no hardly any difference. That's what a person might think. But when you look at it closely, there is that V-shaped cut here, and the thing is broader here, this patch. Whereas that you don't find it in this thing, in the Oriental blue tiger. So only that part differentiates the Deccan dark blue tiger from the Oriental blue tiger. So these are one of the major species which migrate and congregate in Mysore and fly back to uh, the Western Ghats. along with this thing, we have got the Dhaka double-branded crow and the Indian common crow. Here again, like if you look at the images, like you might see like there's no difference, hardly any difference. But one spot here, these three spots, these are missing here in this common crow. So it is a totally different species in itself, if you look at it. So that's all. Like and like in the open wing of this Dhakan double-branded crow, there are two brands on top of the wings, on the upper part of the wings. So that is one more differentiation between double-branded crow and a common crow. Going further, like we've got this Oriental lemon emigrant and a mottled emigrant, Oriental mottled emigrant, along with this the blue tigers and the crows. These are also like they play a very major important role in the migration uh, activity. So like here lemon emigrant, you can clearly see two spots here, whereas like the model immigrant has got three spots here, making it into a triangle sort of a thing. And if you look closely on this mottled immigrant, there are light markings on top of the underwings. So that you don't find it here in this lemon immigrant. So this is how you differentiate between these two migrators. And next we have this painted lady. Painted lady has always been amazing to find in Mysore actually. It comes during the early part of the rainy season. And it travels all the way from Europe and goes all around the world. And people from all over the world have sighted them, and they have given reports of it being there from America to Japan. So, but it starts as migration from Europe actually. So, like you might be wondering, like how come it is traveling 12,000 kilometers and with a lifespan of only 30 days? How will it survive, or can it go all around the world in 30 days? No, like see, like one stop it has to give in Africa. So like from Europe, like when it comes to Africa, like they start breeding, and the next generation, it travels towards India. And of late, like we have been finding reports of the painted lady breeding in the Western Ghats and the northeast of India. So like people have started observing that, and one or two successful rates have been mentioned there from their breeding patches. So this is one major important uh, observation which we found out last year. And like onward again, like from here, like the next generation again goes takes the journey forward. So like this way, like probably the fifth or sixth generation or the fourth generation might be ending up in America. So this is about the story of a painted lady. And next we'll be looking at the butterflies observed during the migration, which are slightly uncommon in the plains. So like uncommon in the plains means like the migration itself, like when the southwest monsoon happens, there is the rains are terrible actually there. Without any stop, like it will be raining for days on end. And that is when like these are migratory butterflies just move out because of the unsavory weather conditions in search of greener pastures, like food or survival, or breeding elsewhere in a very good environment actually. So here are some of the uncommon species which join the migrating butterflies and end up either in Mysore or they go forward or like nobody knows like what happens to them. According to me, like they die out here itself without any this thing. But one particular butterfly, that is the Oriental banded blue pyro. This is the Oriental blue banded pyro. So like this has started breeding heavily in Mysore during the monsoon seasons. So that's when like the Ziziphus plants and all like bloom, and that has been a major attraction during the monsoon for me. So this is the Karwar six-line blue, transparent six-line blue, which is totally endemic to the Western Ghats. And this is seen last year and this year also. So like I've been wondering like what this thing is doing here. So like you can see it only during the migration period. The rest of the year, like you won't. I haven't seen it, and I have sighted it only twice. Once this year and once last year. That's all. And the albatross, common albatross, and these are the butterflies of the highlands or the like a mountainous region. And these are one of the important species from the upper part of the mountains, which come down to the plains during the migration season in the huge numbers actually. And they join the blue tigers, crows, and emigrants, and pass through Mysore or Bandipur or Nagrole, which I will come later. This is again a very endemic species to the western and eastern Ghats as well. This is called as the Sahyadri blank swift, and this is the Sylhet snow flat. So
Sir,
this
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ನಡ meaning ಹೇಳ್ರಿ.
this also like was a find this year. Till this year, like it wasn't found in Mysore at all, according to my observation. Probably people might have seen it on the outskirts of Mysore, but in where I'm doing my own study of butterflies near around Chamundi Hills, this is the first time that I came across this thing in the last 7-8 years. So there's one more very interesting transnational migrator, and that is the crimson rose. Crimson rose has been observed crossing over from the southern tip of India to the Sri Lanka. So like that is one major observation done by the people from Tamil Nadu, like Pavendan Apavo, who have observed it just moving across the this is the crimson tip actually, and they move all through the beaches, and then they end up in the southern tip of India, and then they fly right across into Sri Lanka. And people from Sri Lanka also have been acknowledging that when we have interacted with them and spoken to them over our WhatsApp group and all, like they have acknowledged that like yeah, like it has taken about 7-8 hours for them to fly from the southern tip of India to reach Sri Lanka. So this is the story of the crimson tip going across into the neighboring country, southern part of the country. So here we go into the migration period. So migration from the Western Ghats to the Eastern Ghats, which happens between March and May. So on the onset of the first pre-monsoon showers, like we can get to see this migration starting immediately after the pre-monsoon showers. So what happens when the pre-monsoon showers happen? So that's an indication for the migrators that the rains are coming back again this year as a precursor to last year, and they have to start get moving, even though like the plants and flowering and everything is there in the Western Ghats. They can't sustain that thing. They can't breed actually during that time in the Western Ghats. So what they do is like they just take off from Western Ghats and go on to the Eastern Ghats. And in the reverse migration is back from the Eastern Ghats to the Western Ghats that happens during from September to November. So like if you look at the reasons for the migration, one is the survival. So survival in the sense like within that heavy rains, like they can't survive, they can't breed, and they'll lose out on their offsprings being coming out alive in that harsh weather conditions. And on the onset of the monsoons in the Western Ghats, it happens, as I told you. And the reverse migration the same way. As the northeast monsoon starts, like they get a signal that it is time to move back to our original home. That is the Western Ghats. So now let's go into the in-depth look into the migration paths of these butterflies. Route number one, like I'll just tell you a little bit of this thing. In the last 8 years, it's been quite interesting and chasing these butterflies from one place to the other. And in all these things, like I have been able to like identify 5 or 6 routes actually. And out of that, like Pavindan Appavu gave one more indication that some butterflies. Yeah. So, like according to what the observations of Pavindan Appavu from the Annamalai Hills, they tend to like go into the plains and then reach Kolli Hills and Pachamalai and Yerkad. And from there, like again, like there are references of they traveling towards Tiruvannamalai or Krishnagiri. Or up north actually. So that is an interesting travel because like they come down during the southwest monsoons, whereas like the rest of the routes, for example, they are all moving into easterly direction, whereas this thing is coming down south with the heavy onset of monsoons happening also. And they tend to move towards the east after reaching the Annamalai Hills. So these are the different paths taken by that I have studied in the last 8 years. There are a few more routes that I'm looking at actually, and that has been slightly incomplete, and I didn't want to present that thing. So in that study, like further, like all the places like Madkeri, Brahmagiris, and Wayanad, where are the butterflies coming to all these starting points? So like a little bit of idea like I have got is like it is coming from up north again from the Sringeri side. So like from Sringeri, like they travel all the way through the Western Ghats and reach this particular vantage point and then scatter in their own paths. So this is how like they travel. So like you can imagine like in one particular path itself, like there'll be lakhs of butterflies. So like for you tend to see thousands of routes actually. This is just a minuscule of the routes what I'm talking about. So that makes it into millions of butterflies traveling every year from the Western Ghats to the Eastern Ghats in search of survival, food, and then breeding places, which is ideal for them. Next, we'll move on to this reverse migration. In the reverse migration also, the one thing I want to tell you is that when they start their journey, the actual monsoon during the southwest monsoons, they hardly stop in the way. They reach their destination and start breeding there, whether it is Yerkad or the Animalize or up north in Tirupati or elsewhere, because the conditions are very ideal. There is no rain. There is the climate is cool, and they've got plenty of nectaring plants, flowers, everything, and the host plants also there. So that is one interesting aspect, that why they reach the destination. They are in a hurry to reach the destination, as they've got eggs in their abdomen loaded already in the Western Ghats. So all they have to do is reach the place and start laying eggs there in the Eastern Ghats. Now again, like after reaching the Eastern Ghats and after staying there for they probably die there after laying the eggs because of the old age. I would say 30 days is the maximum butterfly survives. But the second or third generation are still there, and they are growing up well here in the Eastern Ghats. And the generations to follow come back in the same path, like how they have their forefathers have come back actually. So that is one interesting aspect, and they don't cross over to the other path and take another route or things like that way. This is a little bit of information which we are trying to understand how they still there's no elaborate study on all these things. So we are just hoping that the same group follows back the same trail actually. So with the onset of the northeast monsoon, they tend to take the same routes because of the heavy rains and the better climatic conditions in the Western Ghats, in the Western Ghats. And fortunately for us Mysoreans, we have our Mysore is in the middle of this the entire Great Migration. So what does Mysore? What do the butterflies give Mysore, or what can we give the butterflies in Mysore? That is a very good thought actually. They come here and congregate actually first, and then they start mating and breeding. So let's this is on their way back, on the reverse migration. So let's look at some of the mating species and breeding species in Mysore. So this is the dark blue tiger actually, dark blue tiger, which you can see mating here around the Chamundi Hills actually, and this is the lemon emigrant. So these are major pollinators as well as in all their journey, and they are the major players in the migration actually. So why do they come and congregate in Mysore? The congregation. So it all starts off with a few butterflies coming in a bit early, because they are very sensitive to the weather patterns in the Western Ghats. And these things come from the Eastern Ghats, and they just sit on the dry twigs as though they are leaves initially. But as you go, as the day gets closer for them, and the monsoon recedes, they are congregating in huge actually. I have seen millions of them in one particular place in Mysore, and it's been a great place to observe every year for me. And this is just on one twig, this entire thing. And here, like just one branch of it. So, like here itself, like there might be a few thousands actually, if you look at it properly. So, and since it has been raining in Mysore still, and it has been raining in the Western Ghats, they can sense rain for at least 3 days in advance, according to my observation that I have done in Mysore regarding their movement during the congregation and while they are leaving Mysore after the rains recede in the Western Ghats. Let's take a look at a few more images of this thing. This is again like one more branch. And why do they huddle here like that? Because like they can control the warmth which they have gained over a period of time, and they just want to like not to waste that energy. So like I've done my own impact of the butterflies on the butterflies because of the climatic changes. So here, like this is the data, congregation data analysis over the last 5 years that I have done. So like in the year 2015, like when I first saw, not the first time, like I've just taken it from 2015 actually. So like initially also, previously also there was a lot of congregation happening. It was just taken 5 years since it's easier to study the last 5 years thing. So in 2015, there were only about 12 to 15,000 butterflies there in that congregation place. And in 2016, like it got reduced to some 7,000. And it went down further to only a handful of them, 1,000. And the next year was probably it was there from 1 lakh to 10 lakhs maybe there. I've just given a smaller amount of that thing because like there is no way you can count them. So like I've just kept it to the bare minimum thing. So again, the next year in 2019, it was 30,000. This year was plenty again, ranging anywhere between 75,000 to like 2 lakhs maybe. But this particular year, they were there only for 2 days. In 2 days, like you could see that much in that particular area. On the third day, like everything was gone. So, like, what is happening here? In the first, in these 3 years of the 5 year study, the rains were not proper. As the rains went down, like there was a drought sort of a situation, and suddenly, like the rains happened, and they started migrating from the Western Ghats and reaching out to the Eastern Ghats. And this is one data which clearly shows how they play around the climatic conditions of the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. So that is a small data. There is enormous data to be studied and analyzed as well. So like I've come to the end of the thing. So if you want to contact me through email, like this is my email ID, Arunars, Arun, KRURS at gmail.com. And there is a WhatsApp group called Butterfly Migration India. And Dr. Kalesh Sadashivan is leading it. And he is doing a great job there, coordinating between 3 states. And we are happy that a lot of people have joined it, and they are contributing information from various parts of South India regarding the migration. Migration in the sense, like I've just spoken only about butterflies today. The migration of, we are in the process of studying the migration of the dragonflies. So like that is an interesting part, as when the prey species is on the way, on the move, the predator also like is not left far behind. So that's about the migration of a butterfly. Thank you.